What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the new album from the band Scordatura, entitled Mass Failure. This is released on Gore House Productions. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Glasgow, Scotland, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very traditional, violent, contemporary style of brutal death metal. Yeah. A couple of years ago, I was introduced to this band by way of their sophomoric 2017 effort entitled Self-Created Abyss. I was very, very impressed with that record and how this band went about making music. It had a very modern and contemporary flair to it, a little bit of a technical sort of essence attached to it, but it still maintained a very gritty, brutal death metal sort of feel and vibe to it, and this band put out a really, really killer record in every sense of the word with that. I love the energy, I love the creativity of the music, I love the guttural vocals. This band has a complete total package. I mean, this band has been very consistent over the last several years in terms of putting out quality content, whether it be their debut full-length from 2015 with Torment of the Week, or their previous early promo demo releases, to their consistent reliability as a live band. Of course, this band not too long ago played the US, and they really, really made an impression with their style, their stage presence, and just overall being consistent. Very, very solid, top-notch band all around. When I found out that they were going to be putting out a new full-length in 2020, I was very excited to see and hear the next logical step this band was going to take. And now here we are with that next step in the form of their third full-length entitled Mass Failure. It's 9 tracks, and it clocks in at around 34 minutes in length, and pretty much this picks up right where Self-Created Abyss left off in terms of musical conception, delivery, and just overall consistency. I mean, I wouldn't let the name of this album fool you. This is more of a mass improvement over what Scordatura has been doing in recent years. And I definitely think that this album is probably some of the strongest material I've heard them do yet to date. I say this band has a bit of a contemporary, modern flair going for their sound because this definitely feels like death metal with a clean sort of edge to it. It doesn't feel distracting in any way, shape, or form, but it overall adds a bit of punch to their sound, and I think it works out very well here. Musically, it's very top-notch. There are some seriously killer riffs to be heard throughout this entire album, and some really well-placed bass tones to be heard throughout this album, too. You hear it on the first couple of tracks with songs like Disease of Mind and Skin Trophy, and then later on the album with songs like Contorted Existence and The Flesh That Hates. You just get some really, really smart musical prowess going on with those songs, whether it be the riffs, the way the leads kick in, to whether you hear some very audible bass tones. I think this is a very, very well-established sort of musical presentation going on here when it comes to how the riffs and how the bass tones sound. I think it's very well played. I think it's very well produced. When it comes to the drumming, this is another thing that makes Scordatura stand out a lot, in my opinion, is the drumming. And you hear a lot of really great, natural-sounding essence and vibes going with this drum performance. I love the blast beats. I love the snare. I just love how everything pops and how everything sounds. It just feels right. It feels natural. And it definitely maintains a very strong and solid pace throughout. It's almost unrelenting in a sense. And I definitely appreciate this drummer being so fluid and so consistent with his drum performance here throughout this album. It's very entertaining. And when it comes to the vocals, I'm almost sensing a bit of a George Corpse Grinder Fisher vibe listening to this guy. I mean, this guy has a really great vocal style here, but on this particular album, I definitely feel a little bit of a Corpse Grinder influence going on here. Corpse Grinder with a little bit of a Scottish accent, if you will. And I definitely think that his vocal style this time around is a lot more aggressive, a lot more maddening. I definitely love the mixture of the guttural growls, the high-pitched screams, almost the sense of depravity listening to this guy change vocal styles in certain parts, but I definitely think it works. I definitely think he commands your attention with what's being going on here, especially when it comes to some of these songs and the stories that are being told, whether it's aggressive or whether it's violent. This guy definitely holds your attention throughout this album, and I think it makes for some entertaining listens. So overall, Scordatura once again continuing their growth and their dominance within international death metal and all that other good stuff. If you are a fan of this band's previous works, I definitely think you're going to love Mass Failure a lot. I definitely think this is the strongest material they've done to date. And like I said, I wouldn't let the name of this album mislead you. This is more of a mass improvement of their sound more than anything. So if I do think of any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Disease of Mind, Skin Trophy, The Flesh That Hates is another really awesome track, Immense Atrocity, absolutely killer near closer of this album. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Gore House Productions Bandcamp page where you can listen to this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can stream it by digitally, and it is available physically as both a CD and a 12-inch vinyl. I believe there is a standard black and green vinyl. I think the vinyl is limited to 200, 300 copies, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, what I have in my hands is the CD version. Very killer artwork going on here, track listings, high-end quality as to be expected from Gore House Productions on this CD, and booklet presentation, lyrics and everything. But yeah, again, the album is Mass Failure by Scordatura. This is released on Gore House Productions. Definitely check this one out. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very strong 8.5 out of 10. Definitely the best Scordatura material I've heard to date. If any of you guys happen to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and how you think it compares to their previous releases. Or any of you guys into Scordatura, definitely let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Army Hell out.